I'm Laura Ingle, and you are in the strategy room. You know, earlier this summer, Scott Walker was leading Republican polls in the key early state of Iowa, but now times they are a-changing. The latest Quinnipiac University poll puts real estate mogul Donald Trump in first at 27%, but Walker has fallen down to the bottom, just 3%. So what has happened to the Wisconsin governor's campaign? Here to weigh in are Professor Jeanne Zaino and T.J. McCormack, former media specialist for Astorino for governor. Welcome to you both.
Hi.
Thank you.
Okay, so here we are looking at the numbers once again. Scott Walker, I mean, does it feel like his campaign is in a free fall? What do you think? Or is he going to come back like a roller coaster?
Well, people wonder what happened to Scott Walker. Donald Trump happened to Scott Walker. Donald Trump happened. You know, a personality came into the mix and just blew everybody out of the room. I mean, look at the other people with all that experience. He's the governor of a neighboring state, a neighboring agricultural state, and he's just not resonating in Iowa. I think it's a Trump vacuum just sucking the air out of every other campaign right now, except for Ben Carson, of course. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, you know, it's shocking how much and quickly his numbers have gone down. Let's not forget, it was about 4 months ago he was the leading top echelon candidate along with Jeb Bush. And I think what's happened here is a bigger story about the fact that establishment candidates are not resonating with voters. And Iowa is a must-win state for somebody like Scott Walker. It has a perfect demographic situation there for him. He's the neighboring governor, as TJ mentioned. He was leading in the polls for so long, and he has just plummeted. In fact, when we were just talking earlier, somebody said, yeah, where is he? Scott who? He's been all but absent from this.
Right.
So, I think this is a larger story about what's happening both on the left and the right, where if you are in the establishment, if you hold a governing position of any kind, it is very hard to resonate with voters at this point.
And I'm sorry.
One of the things that I read in the paper was that some are calling this a cruel turn of events. It's been such a dramatic shift.
Yeah, well, and I think in some cases too, this shows a lot of the intellectual honesty of the general GOP, the crew out there, in the sense that there have been some real tangible missteps by this guy. He's made some non-committal answers. His staff has constantly been on the defensive, having to go back and try to clarify statements he's made, and some of the teeth have been taken out of some of his positions. Here's a guy who took on the unions and squashed them, and now he's been sort of non-committal in his answers, a little wishy-washy, and that's not his brand. He's gotten out of his lane, I think, and that's resonated with the potential voters in Iowa.
Gotten out of his lane. Yeah, somebody said that he's done 3 sides of every 2-sided issue.
And that's not his brand.
Yeah. Here's somebody who ran successfully, 3 times in the last 4 years, but it was in Wisconsin. Running for president is a whole different ballgame, and I think you're absolutely right. He has not done himself any great favors with this campaign. And he's got a short window now to resurrect this thing. It's not done by any stretch of the imagination, but he is no longer, obviously looking at these poll numbers, a top-tier candidate that he once was.
So what do you think that he needs to do to improve his position with primary voters? I mean, that's where he's got to get back.
I don't know if he has his feet under him. You know what just dawned on me as you were just speaking just now? I thought of this as like, you know what? Yeah, he did all that. He did all that successful fighting and running and fought off a recall in where he is the big fish in a small pond. They're the only guys, whether they're governors, all these governors in this race, they're used to being at a bully pulpit with all the focus on them. I think this is like getting into the ring with a verbal Mike Tyson. I mean, seriously, it's like you have your game plan. You walk in there, and Mike throws his first shot at you. You are seeing stars. You can't regain. I don't know if these guys even have their feet under them, and I think Scott Walker is included in that. I don't know if he even knows where he is right now.
Jeanne, we'll give you the last word. If you could have 20 minutes with him in a room and say, pull it together or give him an idea, what would you tell him to do for this campaign to get back in the race?
You need to organize on the ground in Iowa. There's a potential to win a caucus if you are well organized and are good with retail politics. It's going to be an uphill battle, but he could do that given where he is geographically and politically. So that's what I would say, concentrate on. If you could even do better than expected in Iowa, say 3rd or 2nd, that's going to at least move him to New Hampshire. But at this point, I think that's his best bet.
We were talking about rock and roll off camera. Keith Richards. I know you're a fan. I mean, his name on the ballot might just, get better numbers at this point, right?
Yeah.
to be a citizen. Well, anyway, Jeanne Zaino, T.J. McCormack, thank you so much both for being here. And we want you to check out foxnews.com for more on the 2016 presidential race. As always, we'll see you back here on the web. I'm Laura Ingle. Thanks for watching.